Whoopsie, let's get rid of that. Come on, little. Hello, welcome to Follow Everton. Oh my goodness, today has been eventful. More news coming out of Goodison, or coming out of Everton, I should say now. Everton have announced the naming rights for the new stadium. It is going to be called, wait for it, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Bit of a mouthful. My initial reaction was not a stadium name with the word "dick" in. I mean, you just asking yourself to get the piss taken out of you by using certain words like "dick." And look, it's a bit of a mouthful. But then I told myself, look, if this means we have better players and we have more money to get better players, then I'm all for it at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter. And I'm sure we've had some very lucrative offers from big companies and possibly weren't as, lucrative as this one. And you have to think, a company that's already well established, why would they want to sponsor Everton in this period of transition? Why would they want to be associated with us at this present time? And so it was always potentially going to be a name of a stadium where you are a company that is successful, but perhaps isn't quite a household name, because you need to be successful to have that kind of disposable money to be able to sponsor a stadium, but then to have enough, what was I going to say, to want to basically become a household name. So I don't think Hill Dickinson is a household name, but they clearly are a big business with over 1,000 employees. So I want to know what people's thoughts are. I've got loads of talking points to discuss, but that is the breaking news. And by the way, straight after the stream, 30 minutes time, 7:30 UK time, we're going to have the preview with Stevie and Corey for the final match of Goodison men's team. Okay, let's have a little look. Some of the comments straight away. I just want initial reactions. When you first heard it, what did you think? All right, it's not a big name, but at least isn't a Middle Eastern Airlines company. Thank you, John. Liam thinks it's embarrassing. Emma, the Hillbilly Stadium. Peter, the Dicky. Emma's putting some perspective on it. It's a local maritime company. Yes, I read they were established. Was it 1800 and something? Early 1800s. Bob Stevens, hi Bob, the Hill Dick. And Kevin, yeah, you're not too impressed. Danny, I'm told it's one of the most lucrative deals in the Premier League, up to 10 million. And that not all the clubs have been successful in actually getting stadium namings done, because I think it's very difficult to name a stadium that's already well established. For example, you wouldn't have been able to name Goodison Park, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. But the Tottenham Hotspur, for example, are a really good example of a side that haven't been able to quite find the company they're looking for to match that level of, what they want to try and achieve. John, it's been established a long time. Now, Bob, I know you are into this sort of thing. Can you find out whether they've got any connections with anything dodgy or suspicious in their career? Because I'm just intrigued to know over that length of time, what sort of things they've been involved with. I'm told they are a global company, which was something I was a bit unsure of. But first, I'm going to read the announcement from Everton. I keep your comments coming in. They've put a banner up. They've actually put the Everton crest on the stadium, finally, either side, very small. And then the Hill Dickinson Stadium straight away. I'll actually share this screen with you guys if you want. We can read it together. Let's present. Share screen. Here we go. Everton Football Club proud to announce the Hill Dickinson as the official naming rights partner for the club's new stadium at Bramley Moor Dock in a long-term agreement. How many years? Come on. I hate it when they do this. We just want a bit of transparency. The transitional partnership represents one of the largest stadium naming rights deals in Europe. How much? How long for? Give us some clarity. Bear with me 1 second. I want to share this link. I know loads of you are watching. If you just joined us and you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button. Let's get some people on this show asking the big questions. I just want to see full transparency. I know they're not going to disclose it and it's going to be heavily incentivized. But what does long-term agreement mean? I think in reality, it means that there's going to be some sort of break clause at some point for possibly both parties to allow to go separate ways. And they've never really specified. I don't even think they did that with Stake. The transformational partnership represents one of the largest stadium naming rights in Europe, brings together two Liverpool institutions united by a global outlook, a deep commitment to the city of Liverpool, and a shared history back to the founding of Everton in 1878. So, you know what? It's a Liverpool business. I'm just doing my research. It's a Liverpool business. You know, that's another sort of nice thing about it. It's headquartered in Liverpool. It's a Liverpool business. I think immediately the first thing that I thought was I just don't like the sound of it. But I think the more I'm reading it, the more I'm kind of accepting why it's not that bad. Transformational partnership presents one of the largest stadium naming rights in Europe, brings together two Liverpool institutions. I've read that. Founded in 1810. Wow, old company. Commercial law firm spanning 11 offices across the UK, Europe, and Asia. Hill Dickinson's international growth has been underpinned by the hallmarks that also define Everton. So it's a global business. So I would just want to make a few notes. Because I think we summarized the positives and the negatives. Global business, Asia, Europe, etc. Headquartered, Liverpool. It's a local business. The negatives are the sound of the name. We said something else a minute ago. Long established, over 200 years. It's got a big maritime history. I get it. You know, I'm starting to get some things now. I really am. It's going to open in August. Of course, we know this. The Hill Dickinson Stadium. Dickinson, it's just like will be a new home for Evertonians and a year-round destination for major sport, music, entertainment, business, and cultural events. Okay, I get it. Angus Kinnear, he's had a lot to say. Oh, fucking hell, they've put it's on every side of the stadium now, the branding. That's why we're not getting Everton. That's why we're not getting the Everton branding. Because it's all Hill Dickinson everywhere. What are people thinking about this? Nearly 100 of you watching. 55 over on YouTube. Thanks for joining in. Stick with us. And at 7:30, join us for the Southampton preview as well, straight after this. Angus is saying, welcoming Hill Dickinson as our naming rights partner is a bold and strategic step forward. This partnership goes beyond branding. It's a shared commitment to progress, excellence, and the regeneration of our city. The Hill Dickinson Stadium will stand as a symbol of Everton's ambitions, our values, and global future. I really hope we're more ambitious than I'm led to believe with some of the contract offers that apparently are being made out at the moment. Ashley Young being one of them, Decore another. So I really hope that they will show that with actions and not what they're, I don't think they're showing that ambition at the moment if they're giving them. Peter's saying that looks so bad. I don't know at the moment, but why would they want to do that, Steve? All I can say on the render is at least they've put the Everton crests on the corners. But other than that, you cannot tell that this is anything to do with Everton. Like, if you literally remove that, like, even this, wasn't this meant to spell out Everton? Maybe that's just the rendering. Craig Scott, he's the chief executive officer of Hill Dickinson. I can't keep saying it, it's getting on my nerves. To put our name to Everton's new stadium is a once in a generation opportunity. We believe deeply in what the project stands for, a bold transformational vision for Europe, for Liverpool and its future. The partnership is about legacy, ambition, and the power of two globally recognized organizations. It's not a household name unless I'm missing something here, guys. I probably am, because I'm not into my law. As Hill Dickinson continues to grow internationally, so I get that's why they want to sponsor the stadium. It becomes a global name. We remain proud of our Liverpool roots, and we are honoured to be a part of one of the most exciting waterfront developments in Europe. Further announcement will be made, including partnership community programs, commercial activations, and milestones moments. So are they going to... What's this? The pub in Village Street. Southwell Arms, Eddie Kavanagh's. It's terrible. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just got completely sidetracked there. Yeah, it's big news. I'm slightly flabbergasted. I'm actually trying to rebrand the Follow Everton logo at the moment and try and come up with something. I like the shield design and the dot walls, but I want to modernize it. I've got a few ideas, but I certainly won't be putting Hill Dickinson on there. I mean, I'll just share a couple of my ideas. I want to know what people think while I'm talking about this. Can I present an image? Is that one of them? Bear with me. These are this is the first concept. I don't know what you think. I'm going to show you the second concept in a moment. I really want some feedback on this, and I've completely sidetracked, but just while we're talking about the stadium, got one more. See if I've got any more. Haven't got any more at the moment. Do we like either of these? Asking me for a passkey. Just jump on as a guest, Mabsy. Trying to get Mabsy on. Trying to get a couple of people on to give me their thoughts. I'm just sharing the link here. Because I made a mistake on the second one. But let me know what you think about the logos. I'll bring them back up shortly. Okay, let's go straight over to Mabsy and get raw. I hope Mabsy can hear what I'm demanding from him before he jumps in. Raw, candid reaction. Let's try and give your opinion, but let's try and be a bit more balanced as well, Mabs.
So initially I was a bit like Hill Dickinson. I know Hill Dickinson. I thought I wanted the global brand and stuff like that, but delving into it, actually they are a global brand.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, they're in Asia, they're in Europe, and most importantly, they're Everton through and through. And
Yeah.
you know, the Liverpool company, you know, let's face it, I was like, well, you know, how can Brighton get the Amex, you know, when we get Hill Dickinson? But actually, when you look at it, actually, it makes a lot of sense.
Is it just phonetically because it sounds ugly? If that makes sense.
Yeah, it just sounds a bit different. Like Amex, you hear Amex all the time. You hear, you know, Emirates. You hear, but actually, on the face of it, we're getting 10 million a season. We worked out Brighton was getting 8.2 a season. Emirates are going to give an Arsenal 6.3 million. So actually, you know what? It's a cracking deal. It is a cracking deal.
The comments are brilliant. The comments are. I'll get a couple up in a minute, Mabsy.
Go on.
The first one, go on then. Mendoza says, looks like Mabsy's been borrowing Cameron Diaz's hair gel. It's the centre.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Bob saying they've got 2,000 staff. I thought they had 1,000. Were you 10 when you started the channel? Emma says, no, I haven't. I had an Everton page, news page.
But it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter how many staff they've got. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
14,
I've been to their client centre in town, and the building is in Old Hall Street is just amazing. Honestly, it's huge. The client centre, you go right to the top of the floor. It's got views from the Mersey. You can probably see Bramley-Moore Dock from the client centre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, this isn't a bad move. I was like everyone else, but I've just thought, no, actually, it's a great move. And honestly, the cop-outs are fuming over it, right? Honestly, within 5 minutes
No,
of me
they're
announcing
laughing.
it, no, right. Within 5 minutes of Everton announcing it, I had cop-out team like, how much you getting? You can't be getting 10 million, and also when they get 6.3. You know what I'm saying? They're fizzing, absolutely fizzing over it, right?
Yeah.
And also, let's face it, who do you rather have a legitimate a legitimate, solicitor, big brand of Liverpool solicitors that are a global brand, or a bank that basically has been found around the world for funding for washing OCG's money. It was banned in America for because it was that bent it couldn't trade in America for a long time, or a decent brand that sponsors golf events and stuff like that. I think actually people come to like it. The name's a bit shit,
They
but
sponsor golf,
that's
do
what we're
they?
paying for. That's what we're getting paid for.
Are you saying they sponsor other things?
I'm sure. I'm sure I've seen Hill Dickinson sponsor like Opens and so. I may be wrong in that, but I'm sure they have.
Mm.
It's I just positive. When you look at it, 10 million, 10 million a season. It's good news. It's good news for the Blues again. I'm buzzing. To be fair, now I wasn't. I'll admit I wasn't at the start. Are these the board of directors?
No, they're partners.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. But
Where's Sir William Dickinson? Ah, okay. Hong Kong.
yeah, it's a good well established list, and you know what, fantastic. I've honestly, it's one cop out up so bad today. So quite literally within 5 minutes they were texting me how much you getting for that slip. My manager was texting me. Honestly, they're absolutely triggered.
Mabs, I'm getting
Yes.
told off here. Apparently, I'm meant to put the baby to bed. Do you mind speaking for a few minutes about this?
About what? No,
About the
I've got
stadium?
I've got dinner. I'm quite literally just coming on. Quick
Oh,
reaction. I'll get told off
no.
myself.
I'm getting to. Oh, where's
Right, I'll
Corey?
cover it. Yeah, go on quickly then. Go on. I can't see any comments though. Right, hang on, bear with me. Right, so I'm going to go through the comments. I can't post them on screen because I'm logged on as a guest. They're taking up available advertising space. Everything was meant to be on the windows where it wasn't. Even Dan, even Dan can laugh as he flies over us. But at the end of the day, so what? We're getting 10 million quid a season. Kevin's dinner's ready. HD Stadium, Blue Collie. Um, we've already had that one. Looks slightly more flashy. I can see Ryan Rooney making a song about Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah. So come on, Blues. Some more. Are you happy or what? What is it? And I felt is it because it's not a global? Well, it is a global brand, but not ahead of global brand, so it's not a blue chip brand, or is it? I don't know. I just think it's a good news for us. Good news day. Um, it was always going to, it was never going to be called Everton Stadium or Bramley-Moore Dock. We knew that. We did, and obviously they're taking up valuable advertising space because they're paying for it. Okay, as Peter Duggan with me, I agree with Mabs, I'm still going to call it Bramley-Moore, but as long as we get 10 million, it's well worth out of it. Absolutely. Chris Wentz likes the deal, likes the price of the deal, but I don't like the name. But isn't it doing a deal with the devil? Let's be honest, right? What name would have been happy? There's always going to be someone that's not happy, but at the end of the day, 10 million quid.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. William
What?
Dickinson.
David Dickinson. Fucking hell. The David Dickinson Arena, yeah.
Oh, it's gone viral already.
What has?
The Hill Dickinson. It's got 40,000 views and like 600 retweets. It's bloody brilliant. Mabsy, you can drop out if you want. I've got a few things I'm going to talk about over the next 10 minutes. Loads of people watching, 135. We've got a match preview straight after this. 71 of you on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining on and
yeah, I'm going to drop out right. But I'll see you in a bit.
See you, Andy. Terrible name. I don't think it's the biggest. It's probably microwaved anyway, Danny. Don't worry. It'll sit there. Okay. I've got 10 minutes to talk about a few things here. Keep the comments coming in. I will have a look at them. But obviously conscious of the match preview following me. So I've made some notes here. Why Hill Dickinson? Okay. So major law firm within Liverpool, historical roots, and probably too big of an opportunity for them to turn down. The brand visibility and the growth strategy, as I say, they're not a household name at the moment, but because they want to go international and develop that side of the business, I think it helps to associate with a big, recognizable, public-facing brand. Comparing this with some of the other stadium naming rights, the Etihad, for example, was much more lucrative, but that was, corruption in a way. It was self-sponsorship to get money into the team in order to win titles and all that sort of stuff. The Emirates, it's less, more lucrative than the Emirates Stadium. Tottenham not named yet. They're waiting for the right company to come in, and I think. Also, just some of the points I've got written down here. The commercial reality at Everton is we're possibly reliant on, what we can attain at this moment. Massive companies perhaps are not quite ready to go for Everton. Where we've been in recent years has not been particularly, nice in terms of PR. It's been a bit of a shambles, a bit of a shit show. So I don't think we were going to go and get Coca-Cola, but I think for where we are, it does make sense. It just doesn't sound catchy. So yeah, would some fans prefer a flashier name? Does a local law firm suggest we're not quite ready to attract global investment, or is this a clever deal? The money is obviously massive. If it's up to 10 million a year, I'm assuming a lot of it's performance based as well. Possibly half of it is guaranteed and the other half is based on performance, and Europe and all that sort of stuff. And maybe there's a massive bonus for example, Champions League, because I think that does change the landscape of things. But I think ultimately we can't afford to not have a naming rights deal because of PSR. So it is what it is. Stadium naming rights often change after a decade or so. So I'd expect this to be for, at least the next several years. And to be honest with you, I'll just tell you where it fits. Emirates apparently get 100 million over 15 years. That was the initial deal they got. Emirates is 400 over 10 years. I think these have all expired now. The King Power Stadium, not sure. I'm not sure about that at the moment. The Vitality Stadium is only 1 or 2 million a year. Just before I go, got a couple of other thoughts. I mean, the first one is the first name that stadium gets called. We saw it with the Liverpool Arena, the Echo Arena. It always sticks. So the Hill Dickinson Stadium will stick eventually. Mud will stick, and it will always be the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Even when it gets renamed again, I just think it's like the Echo Arena. We know it's the M&S Bank Arena, but it's always the Echo Arena in the eyes of most. The first name is the most important, and I really hope Everton have done it justice with the money. The negative thing for me is it's not that catchy. You can get the piss taken out of it by saying Dick, and I hope it does protect us. If we are really ambitious, does it allow us to increase our revenues massively if we do grow and we could command in potential a much more lucrative deal. Oh, there's 154 of you watching, and it's like I've got to come back in a minute. We're wrapping things up in 5 minutes. I'm going to post the link in a moment to the other stream. Bear with me a few minutes, guys. Hi, guys. We're going to wrap things up in a few moments. I'm just going to have a look at some of the last comments that have come in, and I'm also going to share the link to the next stream, which is coming up in 5 minutes. I'm not involved on that one. It is Corey and Stevie. I'm just going to share the link in the comments for you to have a look, but I really hope you've enjoyed listening to me today, and Andy Mabs, who's just joined me. Unfortunately, it will be ending in a few moments' time. Kevin's saying Spotify. Yeah, we loved Spotify. That's the sort of name we're looking for. But why would they go for us? You know, why would they go for a name that's in transition? Why would they associate themselves with us at this moment? I think it was too soon for something like that. Tazul says, who cares about the name as long as the cash flows in? That's all that matters. I think the minimum is you just don't want to get bullied for it. Jim Watson agrees. Shelley, it's an awful name. Rod Ross, no one is going to call it that. Everton have just confirmed the name will always be Bramley Moore Dock. When? Did they? I think the fans will always call it Bramley Moore Dock. Bob Stevens, Chang International Spurs sponsorship. Hill Dickinson, led by Sue Russell and Megan Betham. Chang International shirt sponsorship. Hill Dickinson. People were in uproar over the new camp being named Spotify. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying now. Okay. Mendoza, Vancouver, 10 million a season. Money talks the loudest. Couldn't care less if it's not catchy household brand name. Glad we are not named by another Arab brand. I agree. Keep it British. I love the fact it's local. I think that does mean a lot. Maybe some of us had delusions it was going to be like the Home and Bargain Stadium, or I think that would have been even worse, to be honest. What's the other local business with the guy, James Bell, at the AJ Bell? Tara, you Liverpool fan? I think you're just a bit bitter, maybe, that we're getting £10 million a year for someone to just name the stadium, which really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Think of the money. And I agree, Kevin. Thank you so much. Hickory dickory dock. To be fair, Carl, that is very funny. Right, I've got to go. To be fair and respect the other stream that we've got, but maybe we'll be back. Myself maybe can come back on at some point soon. So please click the link in the comments there, which is for the match preview for Everton versus Southampton coming up in 2 minutes' time. Thank you for all watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave your comments below and see you very soon. Thank you.